The holy martyrs Terence and his companions. April 10th. In 3rd century Carthage, Saint Terence and 40 companions publicly defy an imperial decree to worship pagan gods, leading to their brutal torture and ultimate martyrdom. A heads up in the spirit of transparency. Please be advised that this content may include torture, imprisonment, and execution. The Roman Empire in the mid-3rd century was a vast dominion, yet its power was often directed against those who upheld a faith distinct from the imperial cult. Around the year 250 AD, under the reign of Emperor Decius, a fierce persecution against Christians swept across the empire. Decius, seeking to restore traditional Roman piety and unity, issued an edict that commanded all citizens to offer sacrifices to the pagan gods. Compliance was deemed an act of loyalty to the state. Refusal was considered treason, punishable by death. In the prominent North African city of Carthage, this imperial decree was rigorously enforced by the local governor, Fortunatus. The city, a significant center of early Christianity, became a crucible for believers. Many Christians, faced with the terrifying prospect of severe tortures and death, succumbed to fear and performed the required sacrifices, seeking to preserve their earthly lives. Yet, among the faithful in Carthage, there stood a company of men whose conviction in Christ Jesus transcended all fear. Saint Terence and his 40 companions, whose names include Pompey, Africanus, Maximus, Zeno, Alexander, and Theodore, openly and courageously refused to comply with the emperor's edict. They did not hide or flee. Instead, they presented themselves before Governor Fortunatus, making a public confession of their faith. With unwavering voices, they declared Jesus Christ as the one true God, rejecting the worship of idols as empty and vain. Governor Fortunatus, accustomed to the submission of citizens and enraged by their defiance, immediately ordered the saints to be subjected to severe tortures. The holy men were imprisoned, then scourged with whips, their bodies enduring the sharp bite of the lashes. Following this, they were burned with hot irons, the searing heat causing immense pain. To intensify their suffering, salt was rubbed into their open wounds, a torment designed to break their resolve. Despite the agony inflicted upon them, the martyrs did not renounce their Lord. They found strength not in their own endurance, but in unceasing prayer, lifting their hearts and voices to God, who strengthened them from within. Their steadfastness was a testament to the power of their faith. When these initial torments failed to sway the martyrs, Governor Fortunatus, frustrated by their unyielding spirit, commanded them to be thrown into a dark dungeon. Their suffering was intended to be prolonged and intensified. They were bound in heavy chains, and the floor of their prison was covered with sharp iron spikes, making it impossible for them to rest without further injury. Furthermore, they were deprived of both food and water, left to languish in darkness, hunger, and thirst, surrounded by instruments of pain. According to the ancient accounts preserved by the Church, it was in this moment of extreme tribulation that God manifested his presence among them. In the depths of the night, an angel of the Lord appeared to the suffering saints. The divine light of the angel illuminated the dark prison, banishing the gloom. Miraculously, their heavy chains fell away from their limbs, their bodies were healed of the wounds inflicted by scourging and hot irons, and the sharp iron spikes that covered the dungeon floor vanished. The angel offered comfort and encouragement, urging them to remain steadfast in their confession. The heavenly messenger assured them that their endurance would be rewarded with the imperishable crown of martyrdom. Strengthened by this divine visitation, the saints spent the remainder of the night in prayer and praise, their hearts filled with spiritual joy. The next morning, the prison guards arrived to find an astonishing sight. The saints, whom they had left wounded, chained, and suffering, were now completely healed, unbound, and joyfully singing hymns to God. Astonished by this clear sign of divine intervention, the guards brought them once more before Governor Fortunatus. The governor, confronted with their miraculous recovery and unwavering joy, understood that no earthly torture could separate these men from their faith in Christ. Recognizing the futility of further torment, he pronounced the final judgment. The holy martyr Terence and his 40 companions were condemned to death. They were led outside the city of Carthage to a place appointed for execution. There, they received the crown of martyrdom through beheading, In their death, they offered their ultimate witness to Christ, sealing their confession with their blood. Their souls ascended to God, receiving their eternal reward in the kingdom of heaven. The Church commemorates their collective steadfastness and courage on April 10th, remembering them as powerful examples of Christian conviction and fidelity unto death.